In today's video, I'm going to share with you 11 sources of freelance work that I've enjoyed in my own career. Let's go. Hello friends, my name is Matt Brunton. I'm here in the north of England. This channel is for the communicators, and today, if you are looking for freelance clients, I'm going to share with you 11 sources of freelance work that I've actually enjoyed or experienced or had experience with throughout my career. And rather than just a list, I'm going to give you a little comment, a little benefit of my experience on each one. Now, I've worked primarily as a graphic designer and also within branding and strategy. But if you're a photographer, copywriter, you work in video, you're a developer, creative, all kinds of disciplines, this will definitely apply to. So you can just translate it into your situation. Okay, here we go. Number one, friends and family. Now, this is where most people start. If you're trying to get your first client, there's a good chance it might come from here because you need people who trust you and you've not done anything. You don't have the experience that you can show. So friends or family might give you a chance. Now, people often say, well, don't work with friends, don't work with family. It can sour the relationship. And I think we have to be conscious of that. But for most of human history, people have worked with their family or with people around them. And still, I guess, a great number of people across the world primarily work with their own family. And apprenticing with your family and a trade is a pretty normal thing, or certainly a common thing throughout human history. So I think we can do it, but definitely be conscious of that, set some boundaries on that and be clear up front. But just start telling people what you do. If you developed a skill and you want to get some work, just tell your friends, just tell your family in a very natural way. Don't pitch to them, just talk to them about it, and some of them will probably want to make use of the skill that you have. Number two, previous employers. Now, when people move into freelancing, this is often where they start, but some people forget about this. It's a great opportunity. If somebody employed you for a period of time, you obviously did a good enough job to maintain your employment. So if you're thinking of moving into freelancing, you could start by freelancing for the place that you worked, and they also will know a lot of other people in your industry, that people that want to use your skills. So tap up your previous employers and also their network, and that can be a great source of client work. Number three, freelancing platforms. Now, the use of these platforms really depends on where you are. So there are some popular, well-known ones like Upwork, Fiverr, People Per Hour that often get mentioned. And these are quite low paying by my standards, Western standards. Like if you're in the UK, the USA, or Australia, or Western Europe, or something like that, the pay is not great on these platforms if you're a mid or senior in your freelancing career. So what I recommend with the platforms is they're great for arbitrage. So what that means is if you are in a higher income country, these platforms can be really good for you to use as a customer because you can have somebody who's very skilled in a lower income country doing the work for you. And if you're in a lower income country, you're probably better being on these platforms as a vendor and able to provide work to people in a higher income country. So that's when they usually work, from my experience anyway. They've definitely got me out of a jam a couple of times, so I'm not totally against these things. And also, there's a couple of, certainly in the UK and in the USA, I've noticed recently there are some higher end, like better paid freelancing platforms that are emerging that are a little bit more exclusive. So definitely check those out. I've actually used one this year and it's been okay, and they paid pretty much what my standard rate is. I couldn't do any work on Fiverr or Upwork, for example. It just wouldn't really be worth my while from what I understand and what I've experienced. So find the ones that are for you. Number four, job boards. So there are job boards, just as if you were looking for a full-time job or a permanent job, that post freelance listings. So again, look for your country, your region where you are, and your particular niche and skill. Ask around, and there are job boards where people post freelance opportunities that you can apply directly to. Number five, inbound marketing. Now, most people think with a business, this is how it's going to work. They're just going to put marketing out there and then clients are going to come back to them. But I found this has been, one of 11 sources is probably more accurate, certainly when you start out. Once you have a bit of a reputation, clients come to you. So doing good work is a form of marketing if you share it, and your clients will share that work as well, and you will get referrals, which is kind of an inbound form. Referrals are an important source, but they often are accompanied by marketing efforts. It might be that you do some kind of personal project and you share that, and people see the kind of work that you want to do, and you're more likely to get hired, or you will always get hired pretty much for the kind of work that you show. So that's a good form of inbound marketing, personal projects that you can share, showcasing your skill. Also, things like SEO, things like content marketing. So you might write a blog, you might create YouTube videos, different sorts of content, being active on social. These are forms of marketing that then allow people to contact you, which is the inbound part. So make sure you've got a solid website so you're ready to capture those leads and then move them through the process to convert them into clients. Number 6, networking. So the long-term play is to have a strong network where you're receiving referrals, where you have people you can use and trust, and also have people who know you and like you and trust you. So by networking, you can do that. So if you're in a location that has a good business community, it has the kind of clients you want, you can network in person, and that is definitely a source of clients. It's not as scary as you might think. It's just talking to people. Business people are just people, and you'll be able to connect with them on a personal level and just find a way to share succinctly about what you do. Tell people what you do in a sentence and then let them ask questions and expand on it. And increasingly now, of course, we can network online. You can DM people and you can start to reach out to people, which is what I'm going to talk about next. Number 7, direct outreach to clients. So this is about finding the clients that you want to work with and contacting them directly. Now, I wouldn't just contact somebody and say, "Hi, I'm a photographer." The better way to do it is have some sort of clear offer, have something that they can say yes to. It might be, "I'd love to jump on a call with you," and you maybe have a 20-minute demo call where you showcase your skills, you tell them about what you can do for them. It might be that you go ahead and prepare some sort of pitch or some sort of report. Let's say you're a web designer, you can audit somebody's existing website and send them that report. Now, if they want somebody to help them implement those recommendations, they're most likely to come to you, the person who wrote it. So direct outreach can be a really useful thing. Just make sure you give somebody a clear next step. Don't just tell them, "I'm a web designer, I'm a copywriter." There needs to be a next step for them to say yes to. And the next one is similar. Number 8, direct outreach to agencies. So this means finding agencies in the area you're in. So if you're a 3D artist, then finding an agency that works in 3D or perhaps in animation or something like that, and going to them directly and working for them as a freelancer. This might be more likely to be on a day rate basis than a project basis, but this is a definite rich area where you can get lots of work, because agencies often expand and contract in size as they need the capacity, and successful, busy agencies are always using freelancers. So find the agencies that you want to work with and the kind of work you want to do, and reach out to them directly, sharing your portfolio. Number 9, recruiters. So again, this will depend where in the world you are, but I know from experience, if you're in the UK, Europe, North America, Australia, there's definitely recruiters there, for example, in my industry, in the creative industries, that place freelancers in-house into companies and also with agencies. So if you can find good recruiter, they will bring a lot of work to you over quite a period of time, and it can also be a good introduction for you to agencies that once the sort of recruitment period ends, I don't know if we call that, but usually if somebody recruits you, that lasts for like a year, and then you can work with that agency directly after that, without the recruiter as a middleman. So definitely find recruiters, particularly if you're in a good paying market that's got a strong industry in your area, because often you need to be able to legally work in the nation where the company's based. But if you are, then definitely reach out and find recruiters in your niche. Number 10, partnerships. So if you're a graphic designer, partner up with a copywriter and now you're a creative team, or if you're a video editor, partner up with an animator and now you can produce things of another level. So wherever you're at, there could be somebody you partner up with and they will bring projects to you, you will bring projects to them, and you can create a little team. If you're a designer, you need to know photographers as well, you need to know web developers. So find these people, find peers, find other people in your industry, even people who do the same thing as you. Don't see them as competition. There's plenty of work out there, particularly at the moment in the creative industries, and you can learn from them. They will bring work to you, and it's usually a beneficial thing. So just be generous with your time and with your relationships and with your connections. Don't try and hoard them. And I find more things come back to you that way anyway. And the final one, number 11, is self-initiated projects. So if nobody will hire you, do it yourself. Or even if they will, I mean, that's a good sign that you have a great skill, a skill that is marketable. So this is more like starting a business, really, but there can be things that you do off your own bat that make money. It might be a resource for people, creating some sort of templates or sharing media, or it might be an educational project, or it might be a business venture that really uses the skills that you're good at, that doesn't rely on clients so much, but more customers. So any kind of self-initiated project, even think about things like art. You might be able to apply for a grant and use that to create some sort of art exhibition. So there's always opportunities out there if you can think creatively, if you can stay connected. And self-initiated projects can be a lot of fun as well when you really lean into the thing that you want to do. And they can also be a way of separating you just billing by the hour, being paid for your time, in terms of creating something valuable that can be sold again and again. Okay, hope these were helpful. 11 sources of freelance work. Most people think they're going to rely on one or two, and one or two are usually the most fruitful. But if you explore these different avenues, they can help cover you in quiet times, and they can help build a big, strong pipeline over your first few years of freelancing. In particular, let me know if you've got any other sources of freelance work down in the comments. That would help everybody seeing this video. Let me know if this was helpful, and talk to you soon.